Welcome to the PDX files. Each week we dive into the weird and the unexplained here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. My name is Peej.
And I'm Mac.
And Mac, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, it's something that for viewers, listeners of a certain age would recognize the name Max Headroom. You probably would recognize that, certainly. But there was a kind of a unique incident that happened with this. It was a TV hacking, which I don't know how easy it was to do in those days or not easy to do in those days. I'm not a nerd. I mean, I'm a nerd, but not that kind of nerd. And watching kind of what happened of these folks who took over a TV station and did what they did. It's interesting and weird, and it kind of, I was kind of saying off air, it kind of reminded me of some of those Russian kind of radio signals. It's odd. Let's just say that. So if it was Halloween, this would be a good one, but we're gonna do this now in March. We're gonna check it out.
All right. I have not seen this video, so my responses will be authentic. Here we go.
To two different Chicago television stations, someone using sophisticated equipment managed to briefly and illegally override broadcast signals on WGN TV and WTTW. Jack Connolly reports now that both incidents are under investigation.
In November 1987, during the 9 o'clock news on Chicago's WGN TV, the TV signal suddenly switched to something else.
That's Max Headroom.
28 seconds later.
But that's not the Max Headroom, though. It was so weird.
Well, if you're wondering what's happened, so am I.
So you really planned that, didn't you?
Sure, I did.
This was just the warm.
See, like those guys don't know.
Hours later, it was about to get a whole lot weirder.
So I was supposed to stop it there.
Yeah, it's just a brief, just that first part of it, like those guys were like, yeah, that was how we should. They didn't know what to do with it because that shouldn't have happened. There's like no way you should be able to penetrate that particular broadcast, and yet they did it, and it was like so because it was like a Max Headroom, but it wasn't. It wasn't like the more friendly looking Max Headroom. To me, that if I saw that in my TV and I was watching, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's giving Saw. It's giving that guy from
lot of Saw vibes. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it already started out kind of weird.
All right, here we go. I should also add that to your point, those sportscasters were kind of dumbfounded a little bit and just laughed. Started laughing.
Yeah, they were like,
because they were confused, right?
Because they didn't know what else to do. They thought maybe it was a joke, maybe it was not. But that
true.
Was weird.
Yeah. Here we go.
It's 11:20 p.m. WTTW, a TV station based in Chicago, is broadcasting an episode of Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
But the image suddenly changes. Something or someone is taking over the TV station, and engineers are frantically trying to regain control over the station. Where is this signal coming from? Who was doing it? When WGN's signal had been interrupted earlier in the evening, engineers there switched to a backup frequency, kicking the hijackers off the air.
That was pretty quick.
But nobody was on duty to do this at WGN's antenna. This meant that the station was completely powerless to stop the attack. The hijackers were in total control of the station.
Involved in this kind of thing that there's a maximum penalty of $100,000, 1 year in jail or both.
The FCC says or warns that should the pirates try it again, it will only make it easier for the FCC to track them down.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to me like they're pretty powerless at this point. They're like making threats on TV, but they there's nothing they can do. Right? They just they just come in whatever they want.
So, well, I'm sure we're just in the first part of this video here. I am interested to find out why the character who looks like Max Headroom, or is supposed to, invoke him, was the one that was selected to be the representation of this.
I mean, he must have looked the most like, and he was kind of doing the same kind of stuff. I mean, Max Headroom back in those days was kind of like a popular deal.
Yeah.
And so, it wouldn't be surprising to see that as part of a commercial. But this is literally not a part of a commercial. And so I think that's kind of why it kind of threw everybody offline, including even, the authorities are like, is this a commercial? Like, it's like a straight up guerrilla hack of the TV broadcasting stream.
Yeah, and then these are major broadcasting I mean, WGN and I can't remember what
it was nationwide at that point. You're gonna watch the Cubs. Like, that's why I became a Cubs fan, because it was on nationwide on cable. Like, so it was attracting a lot of viewers, probably.
Right on. All right, here we go.
To this day, no one has ever been charged, but the story soon became legendary. Decades passed, and questions were still unanswered. Who were the hijackers? Well, maybe some answers can be found in the broadcast itself. If we look for clues in the hijack footage, we know there are at least 3 people involved.
Oh,
there is the person wearing the mask, and another operating the camera.
Okay.
A third person is rotating the metal background. We know this because at some point in the footage, the camera moves. And at the end of the footage, when 2 people appear, the rotating metal background has stopped moving. The footage we see in the incident is much lower quality than what we would expect from a professional TV camera. So the hijackers probably used a consumer-grade camera, like a VHS or a high-end.
Look at those.
It was filmed in a large space, like a garage or a warehouse. We can see a glimpse of some box-like shapes in the corner at one point. Lights had been set up in the room, and we can hear the use of an audio effect to distort the microphone. This could be something like a guitar effects pedal with distortion and modulator effect. At one point, we see a visible cut in the action. This shows us that the hijack was pre-recorded and not performed live, so it was well planned in advance.
I mean, that shows a lot of thought that was put into it. That I haven't seen this far ahead of this video right now. That's really interesting. So they and also the sort of the forensic sort of breakdown of kind of what happened in that video is pretty interesting too. I never heard that before. So there was 3 people at least who were involved in it, sort of recorded in a bigger area, like a warehouse, a garage kind of situation.
Yeah.
That's fascinating that they were able, and it was pre-planned. Like, they knew what they were going to do with this footage, right?
Yeah. And it was it's very low quality footage, which, I mean, even back then, I mean, even the regular broadcast was low quality, but
yeah, it was pretty good compared to the regular quality. That's the thing about it, is it's low, it's like low quality, but the TV footage wasn't any much better than what they were putting out.
It was definitely reminding me of like a cable TV show, like, After Hours.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about?
Yeah, like a gym spag.
Yeah, like a Jim Spag video. So I don't know if they're going to get into this video at all, because I wonder if like the metallic background actually reflected the image of the camera guy, maybe.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, that could be.
All right, we'll get into this here.
In the late 80s, TV broadcasts were all analog. The images from TV stations converted into microwave signals. Each TV station in the area used a specific frequency, and they aimed their microwave signals towards an antenna. These signals work best when nothing is in their way, so antennas were usually placed at the highest possible point. In Chicago, this is the Willis Tower, which at the time was known as the Sears Tower. From this high point, TV broadcasts can reach a much wider area, finally picked up by the receivers on the viewers' televisions. So how did the hijackers take over the TV station broadcast? Maybe they hijacked the signal before it even left the building. The hijackers could have been disgruntled TV station employees, switching the broadcast signal with the station's own equipment. Or maybe the hijackers gained access to one of these, TV News Truck. These are like mobile TV studios packed full of equipment with their own microwave transmitter that can directly send a signal to an antenna for things like live news broadcasts.
It seems like it'd be an inside
access
job
to one
at
of
that
these
point.
And had a bit of knowledge of how to use it. The hijackers could play their own tape close to the antenna and easily taken over the station. But if they had knowledge about this kind of technology, Maybe the hijackers built their own homemade microwave transmitter.
Oh.
At the time, all the parts for this could be bought from amateur radio stores across Chicago.
Are you
Radio
kidding
Shack?
me? That isn't
microwave transmitter.
Yes, Radio Shack.
There's nothing in the way.
God damn it.
So if they had their own homemade kit, they had the best chance of success if they placed it as close to the tower as possible.
That's brilliant.
With enough skill, timing, aim, and power, their signal would overpower the one coming from the TV station.
How easy is that? And look at that. It's so ridiculous. It's like creepy. Wow, that's really interesting. That there was that type of tech going on back in the 80s that you just buy at Radio Shack. I didn't even think about Radio Shack until you just said that. I was like, yeah, totally you can do that.
Yeah.
And now those stores don't exist anymore. You can't buy any of that stuff anymore.
Not via Radio Shack, but I mean anything's available via Amazon.
Yeah, that's interesting. But obviously they've overcome, the ability to be able to do that, to be able to hack a major cable TV outlet. That's insane. It was like just Radio Shack.
Yeah, I mean the parts were readily available. I mean this was the technology back then that first of all, I mean I didn't realize that's how it worked, with the whole microwave.
I had no idea.
So we kind of take things for granted.
It's very, very educational, by the way. If we want to go back in time, it can cause some real shit.
But I mean, it seems like it's still the same tech. I mean, if those news vans that are out, out and about, they have those antennas that are at the top of the vans or whatnot, and I think it's still the same thing.
I think it's the analog technology then.
Oh, true that. Yeah,
but so you probably can't do that anymore. But if someone just has like an antenna, just have the local networks.
Yeah,
you probably could do that at some point, maybe.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah,
we'll continue here.
Was this just a meaningless prank? Or was there a deeper meaning in the message? Are there clues in the broadcast itself?
Pretty creepy. Oh, that's right.
Chuck Swirsky. He was a TV reporter at the time of the hijack who was employed by WGN.
Huh.
This sounds like the theme tune to Clutch Cargo. This show was being aired on WGN at the time.
Jesus, that old shit.
Maybe this is another reference to Clutch Cargo, because the last episode that aired on WGN was called The Big X. Greatest World Newspaper, or maybe World's Greatest Newspaper, WGN. If these clues are to be believed, it means there's strong evidence that the hijack was orchestrated for and against WGN, the station that received the first hijacking that night. Many people, including the FCC, believe that the hijackers may be linked to WGN TV, maybe a current or ex-employee with a grudge against the station.
All early evidence points to someone with a broadcasting background.
Someone who really knows the business and microwave in general.
And while it may have been a stunt, it is not treated as a joke.
Someone who knows how to operate a microwave. That's pretty weird. And also, like, kind of what were they trying to do there with that? Is kind of what it looks like to me. Is like, what was the message? I mean, you can see that it seems kind of threatening a little bit in a way.
Taunting.
Yeah, certainly taunting.
Yeah, and mocking as well.
And if someone has the ability to do what they're doing, it's like, wouldn't you worry? I mean, I'd be worried about that if I was like one of the up and ups.
Oh, like
organization. It's like, holy shit, this guy or gal, could be a gal, managed to do what they did.
Yeah,
that's weird.
All right, I think I was supposed to stop it earlier and go through this, but let's continue.
Chicago's video pirate could face.
But why broadcast this second hijack with messages about WGN on a completely different station? Well, maybe the hijackers didn't have a choice. Maybe their real target was always WGN. When the engineers there switched the frequencies, The hijackers changed their attack to WTTW instead.
Oh.
This means that the hijackers must have been in a location where both of the TV station signals were close together.
So they can triangulate that shit.
All the clues suggest that they must have done it somewhere around here. A spot that allowed them more options if one of the attacks failed. This was not the first hijack of a TV station.
By mail order.
Oh, shit.
we have someone on the set.
And it also
someone on the set.
Pro-reform protesters allegedly hacked Iranian state TV Saturday, disrupting its nightly news program, which was airing a segment with the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Oh.
But it remains the most complete, the most successful, and the most notorious one in history. But despite the legendary status of this incident, the people responsible have never been identified.
It annoyed some viewers.
I just thought it would be just a slight mess up, but that in the middle of the tape, it's going to be... we're going to have to tape over it.
It angered others.
What do you care?
Attention. What do? They go break into a television broadcast just to get attention, like throwing a brick through your window, so to speak.
Oh, come on.
It was a lot of fun. So what did you think about the whole thing?
Very, very funny.
Well, guys were trying.
Many viewers around Chicago were confused, scared maybe, by this mysterious masked figure. But a much deeper fear ran through the TV station bosses and engineers around the world, because this incident showed them that TV was not just something that they controlled. The elusive and exclusive world of TV was suddenly no match for someone with just the right knowledge and motivation. There is no doubt that some people in the world will know the truth. They could tell you who, how, and why, but they don't. Thousands of people have dug into the details again and again for the last 30 years. From bulletin boards to forums, Reddit threads and podcasts, and even here, now, we are still talking about that night in 1987. The search for answers may be a driving force for keeping this story alive. But maybe this incident continues to captivate more in lore than in logic. If we know all the answers, it takes all the fun out of asking the question.
Very true.
Following the mystery. Maybe, after all these years, the magic of Max Headroom is simply in the way it leaves us wondering.
And I think it just, as it gets scares, I think it scares people to a certain way. Like this is not possible. This shouldn't be able to happen. Well, they did it. They haven't been caught. It's been like, well, now it's like 40 years, 38 years. No. Yeah, 38 years since it actually happened. And so you still can't find them. And so that shows that whoever did it, it's got a lot of people who are keeping secrets for them, or they just have the knowledge despite that. So I don't even know it's an insider, because I feel like somebody at some point would have leaked, like they would have been offered it. Like there's like a reward. They would have done that. And after all these years, whoever did this was had it locked down. Nobody can find them, and yet it was so close to what they were doing. That's pretty impressive, and nobody has been caught after all these years. That's the thing.
No suspects, right? Yeah. No suspects. They can make some speculations in terms of these might be disgruntled former WGN or current or former WGN employees, or whatnot. I don't know.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I mean, it's great, and it's and it does seem like it's one of those things that we as a society should just kind of leave well enough alone. I mean, it happened, and that one lady who was kind of irritated that it showed up in, I think, in a program that she was taping. So she's like, you got
that was old school, very old school, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no, this was pre DVR and pre whatever.
Yeah.
So let's let it remain a mystery, in much the same way that, the hackers who, or not the hackers, I guess the hoaxers who called into the radio station about that after that plane crash, and and they said that we know the names of the captain and the first.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to go through the. I don't want to say the names on in this show.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I don't know what you mean.
But but nobody's
we low for that.
So yeah, exactly. So they that one right there, I think, should also remain a mystery, much as the same as this Max Headroom one. So that's cool.
The thing of it is that it's like it was done so well and so weird. It's like it caused like all these weird vibes that still exist today. Like I watched the video and was like, that is weird. It's like, who was going to do that kind of stuff? And it just seems like, what was the purpose of that? Was just to be a prank, or were you like, what were you doing here exactly? Making a social commentary? Definitely something that people should look into and sort of take a look at. But it was fun. I mean, I'm glad they haven't been caught. Let me just say that. I'm happy they haven't been caught.
Or who's to say that they haven't been caught, and then those people's talents are being used by the government in secret right now?
Well, that's possible. I didn't think about that. That's true. That's true. Well done.
If anything is loud and clear in this show so far, is that we're not too trusting of the government 100%. So.
Or anybody.
Well, folks, if you enjoy this content, please give it a like and share it across your socials to help get the word out about our show. If you hadn't already done so, please subscribe, and on YouTube, hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.